Hi, welcome to another quick video from your friends here at Fresche Solutions. Again, I'm Scott.gingerysty from the Web Application Services team, and I'm going to share with you a little video that I like to call Built with AI, Powered by IBM. And the goal here for us is we're going to build a full stack app using our IBM app API template, using a tool we call WebSmart. And then we're going to show a quick example how we use AI and coding agents more specifically to rapidly develop that UI. So we're going to jump right into it because we're going to make it quick. So you're looking at WebSmart here, and we're going to go into the new template zone. And what we're going to do is we're going to make an API endpoint so that we can create a UI to consume that endpoint. So that looks good to me, so we're going to create that. The beautiful thing here is WebSmart connects to your IBM, so you can quickly pick what files you want to work on. So we're going to call this one Demo API. I've pre-configured my FTP site. It's warning me about my path. That's fine. A couple other settings here. I'm not going to get locked into it too quickly, but I'm going to allow record addition. So there's some nice configuration options here for you. I'm going to say OK. And this is where things get cool. You can browse the server, and you can go to a specific library. So if you don't know that off the top of your head, you can look at the library and then select the file. I'm going to leave that for now, and I know the file that I want to use. And I can select OK to keep that going. And in here, I can make sure I selected the right file that I want. That's all good. And you can select additional files here if you'd like to link them and get really fancy with what you want to do. But we're going to go simple, no calculated fields. And we're going to go right here for field selection. So as you're selecting these, you can see the SQL query get generated for you. I'm just going to go ahead and drag everything over here just for the sake of a demo. You can view the data from here too as well if you wanted to do that. Options to add. So if you wanted to do a whole CRUD application, you want to do that. And I'm just going to do my demo API into my Git repository. I'm going to save that, and bada bing, bada boom. It generates that for you. It generates all the PHP you need for your endpoint, and connects you to your DB2 database so that you can have that endpoint. So that was quick and easy. So let's run that and make sure it's working. I'm going to compile, which really is just, it's going to FTP it up to the server for me. And you can see I went to my endpoint and it is returning a list of my customers. Excellent. So that's all very good. WebSmart was really helpful in making our endpoint. Now, where does AI kick in? Let's take a look at that next. I now have my change that I just made. This is the PHP. And so what I've done is I've opened up my repository folder in Visual Studio Code. And from here, I now have the option to load in certain coding agents. Coding agent is an AI tool like GitHub Copilot, for example, that uses artificial intelligence to help you write or improve your code based on what you're working on. And the cool thing with an agent is that it can go off and work on additional files, bring in new files, it can run commands, it can open up your application and test things for you. So let's take a quick look. For today's demo, I am going to use Roo Code. I'm going to create a new task here in Roo Code. I'm not going to go into the specific settings, but you do need an API key for one of your LLMs that you want to use. In this case, we're using Anthropic in the settings there, but you could switch to OpenAPI, which is your ChatGPT type models, and there's a ton of options out there. So in here, I'm going to paste in here, and I'm going to say, can you build me a single Vue.js application to display my API endpoint in a CRUD-like application and listing? I have a dev server running at here, and I give it the address, and basically I'm going to say go. The cool thing with Roo Code as well, you can press this little button here to enhance the prompt to make it more AI friendly. So I'll do that now, and it's going to load. And you can see it greatly expands with a little bit more context of what we're trying to do. And Roo Code has some additional settings here. Again, I'm in coding mode, but that's really the gist of this demo. I'm just going to press send, and let it do its thing. And this is the magic with a coding agent. So for me, this is powerful as I have some Vue.js experience. Vue.js is a front-end JavaScript framework, much like React or Angular. And so I've worked in these frameworks before, so I have some experience on what they're supposed to look like. So I can come in here and validate. And the cool thing with a coding agent is typically they have settings that will lay out a plan. So first I need to understand the API structure and response format and set up a proper Vue.js project structure. And it goes in through a little bit more detail and gives you a to-do. And basically your job is to go here and approve. And as it starts going, it will go ahead and look at the response for you, and you can do little checkpoints as you go and approve as you go, and it's going to ask to access the folders and look at the programs, and it's going to infer itself which one you'd like to do. So I might actually stop it here and be specific and say I want the front end for my demo API.php endpoint. Demo API applications, not an endpoint. There's a couple of endpoints there. So I'm going to give it a little additional context, and then it's going to go through. It asks to test it for you, so it's got powerful enough to open up a web browser and take a look and understand the results. Then with the results, it's going to head and go take that, see what the response is, which is pretty powerful, and then from there, build a UI. So I'm going to use video magic here to speed this up a little bit, and you'll see me approve, and then we'll see what it can create for us. Great. Now it looks like it's generated all of the Vue.js components. It's installed the Axios component for the API calls, and it's going to go ahead and it's asked now to test it itself. So let's go ahead and let it go. And it's going to open up a web browser and test its own application for it. This sometimes works with moderate success, but what you'll see here is pretty interesting. It launches its own. It launches it on its own, and it's able to read the console. And you can see right here on the left-hand side, there's an error. So if I went to the web browser, I would have received the same error. But the cool thing with the coding agent is the work's not done. It can see the error, and it'll go in and self-diagnose and fix the issue. So you can see here the issue is that the Vue plugin isn't properly configured. So let me go ahead and fix that, and I'm going to let it keep going and do that. Great. So it looks like it has now completed that. So let's go ahead and open this up in a browser and see what it's done for us. Okay. Excellent. So what you're looking at now is that application. You can see the UI has come it's come a long way just by the start. I haven't really fed it too much context other than what I've given it. But you can see here we do have a network error. So let's see if we can ask the agent to assist us with that as well. So in this case, I'm going to help it a little bit here. And this is where it's still important, where our AI friends are tools after all. And we're here to give it a little help. So I'm helping my friend here. I tested the app in the browser. It looks good, but don't forget to set up a proxy to access my endpoint, because it's likely some CORS errors that are causing this. So here we are with a little bit a nudge in the right direction. We can see now my API endpoint is feeding my customers into a nice, beautiful list. I've got some pagination. I can display a customer and edit. I can delete a customer with a confirmation. I'm going to cancel that. And again, phenomenal. So if we slide back to the code here, let's take a look at some of the code that got generated. If you take a look, it is perfectly set up a Vue.js application, and that's clean, usable code, fast. Well, there you have it, folks. From backend to UI in minutes. Built with an AI coding agent, powered by the IBM I, with a little bit of help, but a lot of speed. You can see how we can get a front end off the ground really quick, and we got a full stack application working in minutes. This would be great for quick proof of concept, or just getting a project started and off the ground and getting that boilerplate code set up for you, so that you can then take it from there and further fine-tune the application that you're working on. So hope that helps, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks. Thanks again for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe and like that video to keep getting great content like this. And if you're looking to engage with us directly, go ahead and chat in the video below, or go to our website at freshsolutions.com and hit that contact us button, or start an instant chat with us right here in the bottom right corner. We'll see you in the next one. Talk to you soon.